You have reached the public service. Ask yourself one question. Are you a taker or a maker? As with any situation in life, is your situation taking or making you happy? This is the Public Service Show, and I'm Sandra.
And I'm Kirk.
And tonight's topic is capitalism, aka greed, and in some instances, tariffs.
Oh, tariffs.
Let's explain capitalism, an economic system where private individuals or businesses own and control property and the means of production like factories, land, and machines. To generate profits driven by self-interest and competition in free market where supply and demand sets price. With minimal government interference, it's built on private property, profit motive, competition, and the freedom to choose what to produce, buy, or sell, all the while relying on market forces, not central planning to allocate. Meaning, the stock market.
Quite a mouthful there.
Is it? I mean, I tried to choke it down.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, capitalism. So, as many people over the last, I guess this probably has been raging on since capitalism was put in place, but we're here to discuss the arguments against capitalism. Bad. Number one, and probably first and foremost, inequality. It tends to concentrate wealth, creating large gaps between rich and poor, reducing equality of opportunity, say economics help.
And if you want an example of that, most of us have to shop at Walmart where they get to shop at Louis Vuitton.
Ooh.
So I just want you to know that is highly unfair. Not that everybody wants Louis Vuitton, but wouldn't you like the option too?
Okay.
Seriously.
I mean,
whatever it is, as long as it's legal.
Yes, must be legal.
And fun and, doesn't harm anybody. Wouldn't you like to have the option? He and I were talking earlier about, if you had endless wealth, what would you do with it? Would you buy a gigantic house? And I thought to myself, no, because I know what dust looks like.
Yeah.
Like,
you have to clean it somehow.
Yeah. And then, of course, if I had all that wealth, I would have a maid. But then I feel sorry for her with all the dust.
Or him. I guess we could be
equal opportunity.
That's right.
And so we both agreed that we didn't want a gigantic house. But whatever home we had, we'd want to be able to fit everything that we would need on the outside, except for having outside, on the inside.
Yes.
So I thought that was cool.
It's very cool.
Okay, number 2, exploitation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, example of an exploitation.
Big exploitation.
But when it comes to capitalism, exploitation means profit motives that can lead to low wages, which everyone is experiencing right now. Poor working conditions, which means that you don't get breaks. And prioritizing profit over human dignity. Like you're right when you're working 40 hours to go home with enough money to pay your bills. I mean, you're struggling, but they're not.
Well, this is where unions were born. I mean, unions were born because people, business owners, corporations were hoarding money. And believe me when I tell you, these profits, they don't go to the average worker. They go into their bank account. And it just kind of comes down to some of the other topics we discussed, like greed. I mean, these people have a disease. It's called hoarding money. It's no different than you see those shows, Hoarders, where there's stacks of newspapers to the ceiling. I mean, These people hoard money. They have more money than 1,000 generations of their family will ever need, and I don't understand it. And organizations like unions help fight for the little people because, let's face it, these billionaires aren't getting rich. They're not doing it by themselves. This is the most irritating thing. They're not doing it by themselves, right?
No, I have to agree with you 100%.
No workers, no stuff.
It's like not everybody's had children, but everybody's seen that 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
That 2-year-old that wants to take something that we all know is bad for them, right? Like the hot plate up there. I want it anyway. And you're going, no, 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 no.
Yep.
Right? That's what they're doing, but on a really big scale. Now, if you think about your wage and how you're struggling, keep in mind, your boss knows you don't have enough money. They know that. Yet, they refuse to pay you more. So somehow, we have to stop that from happening. That toddler,
Yes.
that 2-year-old that is going to throw the tantrum on the floor and get their expensive lawyers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get their expensive lawyers to say that, I don't care what you say, I'm getting that toy. No matter what, and I don't care how much it costs my workers for me to have that toy, I'm going to have it. Because I have all this money, and I can hire all the lawyers in the world to get my toys.
Yeah.
And
Toys.
even though I know that you don't have any toys at home,
Food. Toys.
don't
Nothing.
care.
Food.
And that, if you look at it that simplistically, like it's more toys that they'll never be able to use.
It really boils down to that, doesn't it? I mean, you have whole shows out there on how to muddy the waters and convince people that their lived reality is not their lived reality and that the stock market's a great thing. And one of these days we're going to cover the stock market and the ridiculous path these people took in the 70s and early 80s to move pensions
That's right.
to the stock market. But I
As a
digress.
warning, and you do die. As a warning, people, whenever you hear gold and silver being purchased, this is what I've learned from a class in economics. It means that you should not invest in the stock market because stocks are what they call volatile and unstable. We all know what the word unstable means. Maybe we don't understand volatile, but unstable. So when the market's unstable, you buy hard currency like silver and gold. Hold on to your jewelry. Don't let anybody take it away from you. Go out and get silver. Go to your bank and say, I want to buy silver bars. I want to buy gold bars. Get yourself a safety deposit box. Okay, I'm just saying. You never know. People are just like coming to homes uninvited. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, uninvited. So, and that's the currency that is always stable. No matter what. It fluctuates, but it's still stable. Whereas a type of stock can crash and go away. Get it? So don't invest there. Buy your little bars and put them away.
I like it. Well, heck yeah.
Your turn.
All right. External results or externalities
Yeah.
results from manufacturing. Companies may pollute or damage the environment, passing costs on to society. Yeah, it's called, there's one phrase, or rather 2 words that kind of encompass that little nugget right there, and it's called global warming.
Oops.
Oh wow. Oh, and
Fossil fuels.
didn't we just see a headline today?
And everybody says the dinosaurs are gone. No, they're not. They're in your tank right now, polluting our air. Thank you, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Okay, right?
Let's just tell the truth, right?
No,
Well, the dinosaurs are gone. No.
Mm-hmm.
We have dinosaurs, and they're killing us. Oops. So I'm sorry, I had to do a little bit of levity there.
Well, I mean, but we need that levity because, let's face it, I mean, people just equate gas tanks, but the level of fossil fuels that are required to make plastics, to make all of these other materials that we use on a daily basis but do not need, all of that has fossil fuel, it uses fossil fuel and has the same byproducts.
Right.
Nuclear, coal.
Well, actually, okay, the oil that goes in your car to keep it lubed, fossil fuels. The gas that goes in your tank to get your car going, fossil fuels. Those are the only two I know, because I don't know a lot about cars, but those two, and everybody has a car, right? Just about.
In this country they do,
Is
yeah.
what's damaging
Yeah.
us. So I'm sure there are other applications that I'm not sure of. You know, probably in my plastic spoons in my kitchen.
Propane. I'm trying to think. Oh, no, I guess propane would be the one thing that I am thinking of. Methane gases. There's all kinds of different things along those lines. Farts, yes. But now you throw on things like nuclear power. I mean, they're just now studying the animals at the Chernobyl site from back in the 80s, and I mean, when these things go south, they take an entire region down for 1,000 years minimum, uninhabitable, and all of these different things, burning coal for electricity. I mean, you can just see the smoke pumping. Has anybody seen pictures of certain regions of China lately? I mean, you can't see the buildings. It looks like Thule fog, London fog, but it's smog. It's pollution.
There's demographics in China, and they don't want us to know that the majority of their young children suffer from severe asthma. Burning eyes, things like that, scratch corneas, a lot. China hides that stuff, but they're actually trying to do something about it. They're going towards renewable energy like solar and stuff like that, because they're killing their people, and their birth rates have dropped significantly. Why? Why would you have a child if you couldn't afford to feed it?
Yep.
And so, keeping that big fun on, we're going to move on to 4.
All right.
Instability in the markets. Capitalism is prone to boom, which way they make a lot of money and then bust. Why does that happen? I'll explain to you. It leads to recessions, and everybody knows the word recession, where the job market crashes and everything costs a lot and nobody has the money to pay for it, and high unemployment. So what happens here is all these companies find the thing that's the new thing, right? Like, let's just use iPhones, just came out. Oh, let's invest in iPhone, blah, 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 blah. Oh, so they buy stocks, buy more stocks. So the price of iPhones stocks goes through the roof.
Through the roof.
Right? I mean, and it is a big thing. Then they release the iPhones to the public, and we go out and we buy iPhones. But unfortunately, some things happen with it, and people aren't so jazzed by the product, right? It either costs too much or uneasy to use, whatever it is. And so the stocks for iPhones start to what they call adjust. They start to go down. Why? Because it is our opinion of the product that actually makes the product value. Either it's valuable or not valuable because of our consumer connection. Either we're buying, or we refuse to buy. So when that happens, that stock goes down, which causes iPhone manufacturers have to lay people off. Unemployment. Cost of things go down. But all of the companies buy into this stuff. All of the people, the wealthy, buy into these things. So that's what the boom and bust is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, also, part of some of this stuff too almost feels like, or at least seems like, it's intentionally done as well.
Okay.
When you control a thing, you can manipulate a thing. And this instability, that as a result, we're living it right now here in the United States. The administration will pass a tariff or a law, get blowback from whomever, and 30 days later either reduce it or take it off completely. But in that period of time that it's on and then all of a sudden off, people are losing their jobs, people are losing their homes, people are dying because they can't afford things. So while these people, government administrations, these financial firms, sit around and manipulate this stuff, real world people are dying, or going hungry, or losing their jobs, becoming homeless, you name it. And for these people, it's a payday.
And guess what? They don't lose money.
Ever.
They take yours.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. When they go, they call you up and, your stock, you lost something. No matter win, lose, or draw, that man that called you on the phone, he's getting paid. That company got paid. Everybody got paid but you. That's why I'm advising you. And you can choose whatever you want. But right now, the stock market is a bust.
It is.
Even though it looks good, it's not. It's not good. And when people are buying what I say, hard currency, then when the billionaires are buying hard currency, they don't trust the stock market.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So, yeah.
Yeah, and, these people that do these kinds of things, and they push and move numbers around on their desk and their spreadsheets and whatnot, they never ever, and I'm saying it one more time because they just do not. They do not care what's happening at the bottom of the rung. Yet they can't do what they do without the people who are on the bottom of the rung. And as Sandra stated, we're not telling you what to do, but it's important to have all the information.
It's just advice. And on a side note, I drove to have lunch with my husband last week.
She did. It was very fun.
I understand that right now our economy is very, very, very expensive. But it takes me like 45 minutes to get to his job from where we live. I am begging you people to use your blinkers. Stop pretending like it's an option that you didn't pay for. It was $2,000 extra to get a blinker in your car. Stop lying. Turn those blinkers on and save my life. Okay.
Public service announcement number 1.
Use a blinker. Because I'm not going to tell you the kind of words I use in the car. Really. But I am imploring you to take that finger and click that bad boy and say, I'm going right or I'm going left. Nobody drives by the force. That's BS. That was a movie. Nobody drives by. Let me see. The car in front of me is going to go left. Oh, it's like a crapshoot, right? 50-50 chance. Oh, I was wrong. I rounded your stupid butt. In the butt. Because you didn't choose a blinker. So anyway, back to...
I won't say what the bumper sticker said, but basically, world peace, use a turn signal, save a life.
Okay. So back to...
Yes, okay.
And it is free. They all come with the cars. Stop lying, people.
That's right.
That's yours?
Yes, okay. And then, of course, if all this other stuff weren't bad enough, it also leads to monopolies. Firms that are exceptionally skilled at manipulating whatever, and or are doing well, can buy up rivals so that they reduce the competition controlling the market, and they can crank or lower the price at will because there's no competition keeping them honest. Now, for those people who actually crack the history book and spend some time in social studies and understands what happens at the turn of the 19th century, the New Deal, the 1900s, end of the Industrial Revolution,
1920s.
the Great Wars, the Mellons, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Kennedys. There's a handful of names that still exist today because they're literally on half of the buildings in many of the cities that we live in. All have monopolies. And they were literally going in and wiping out entire towns. And when I say wiping out, I mean actually exterminating the residents. It's been well documented. This is not fantasy that we've come up with, but a simple research will show you many, many instances, and not just indigenous people, because you consider the time, but they wiped out. They burned a whole area of, I think it was Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street.
Yes.
They burned that whole thing to the ground. They razed towns. They razed whole sections of cities because they wanted to control. Union Oil. And when the New Deal was put together, post-World War, I guess it was two.
Mm-hmm.
The New Deal was post-World War I think. Because, it was just before World War II. It was like that. It was in that whole area there. And
That was the late 10s, 20s, and 30s, correct?
Yeah, yes.
So the Great Depression was
Yes.
1929.
And that came out of the Great Depression.
That came out of the Great Depression. Yeah. He's leading you into the right place, and I'm listening, and I'm learning as well.
And so the president and the government realized that there needed to be, and you hear this word all the time. This is where the term a middle class was born. The president, the government at this point in time realized that you needed a middle class to have a successful country. You can't continue to have three people have all the wealth and everybody else has absolutely nothing, because it's non-sustainable. Well, we've lost the whole spirit and drive, and all the laws that were put in place from the New Deal were wiped out by, I'm just going to say it, President Ronald Reagan in the 80s, and they just obliterated everything that came with the New Deal. Fast forward 30, 40 years, we just went and saw a movie today, and you wouldn't believe, as we're watching
Don't promote the movie.
No, as we're watching the opening credits, what did we see? Amazon, Metro, Goldwyn, and Mayer. Now, explain, what is Amazon, who already is the monopoly of shopping? Every single one of you can think of no less than 5 businesses that have been obliterated and put out of business thanks to Amazon. What are they doing with MGM? What are any of them doing? And that's just the entertainment industry. We're not into the meat packing, beef, chicken in the last 3 or 4 years.
I have to agree with you that it used to be that there were laws that prevented monopolies. In some states, they do have them, but in a lot of the other states, they do not. They thought it would be unfair to limit big business to squash competition, which meant that they could, like he said, set prices that were not competitive. The reason why so many people are struggling like they are now, again, you're not making enough money to buy the products that the companies you're working for are selling. That's by design. So that way you have to keep your job. And what does that make you? a modern day slave. Because if you can't afford to quit your job to find another one, you are locked in a cycle of poverty. And I'm sorry for us.
Monopolies, a direct.
It's not the game, people. That little game where you throw, don't you wish you'd send them all to jail because they're unfair and they're stealing your money and they're not paying you enough. You just put them in. Forget the $200. Send them to. Okay, I went off.
No,
sorry.
No. I mean, we just said the word that takes all these different, it doesn't matter the financial system, capitalism, socialism, and people, for those of you people who keep confusing socialism and communism, I implore you, please look up the definition and then search on some pictures that show you the difference between socialism and capitalism, socialism and communism, because they're not the same. In fact, they're not even close. So, but the word we have now begun to float is laws. I don't care what economic system you are trying to utilize. If you do not have and support the laws and have them in place to mitigate all of these uber wealthy people who can buy off what are clearly people who do not have some form of moral fortitude to whatever, this is what happens.
Protection, people. We have no protection.
No consumer.
No consumer.
Sorry.
That's right. No consumer protections. And employee protections too, which that union word that he's using is amazing. Unions will fight for you. You pay your dues and they will go out and make sure that you get the salary that you deserve. That's their job. Their sole job is to make sure that you have clothes, food, and a roof over your head. And a car. With blinkers, people. Do I have to go back? Blinkers are not options. They come with every car. Motorcycle. Okay, maybe not scooters.
Yes, they do.
Scooters have blinkers?
Every single vehicle that is legally on the road must have turn signals. Even those super rocket motorcycles with the annoyingly tiny turn signals on either side of the license plate.
There.
But it's there.
Okay. I'm just frustrated with the blinker system in the world.
The laws.
What laws?
The laws that have been, and food for thought. Can someone please explain to me why there is a group of poor people in this country that seems to throw unions under the bus? I've never understood. This is probably the single greatest thing that corporations have been very successful at. Making poor people think that that the corporations are in dire straits, and that if they form unions, they'll no longer have jobs, as if we still don't need cars, televisions, radios, widgets, everything that's made under the sun, where those things are just going to magically make themselves. If those people take $1 billion less a year because the union actually made them pay their
That's
employees
exactly
a living
right.
wage.
Okay.
I understand the fight.
Remember in the 80s when they first started to want to get rid of unions, and they were saying, back then they were millionaires, right? They were saying that unions hurt businesses. Remember we said businesses are people too. Mm-hmm. That was in one of our earlier shows. No, they're not. Businesses are a conglomerate of board members that sit around, suck up a lot of money, and tell you that you have way too much money. And you can't even afford the things that you can't afford. But they're sitting on yachts, they're sitting on just mansions and everything, and they're saying, you're making too much money. we need to get rid of the unions, right? So when whoever bought that sale, you were just sucked out of your protections. You were. And now you think it was bad back then? It is horrible now. That you barely have health care they pay for. You barely have enough money to even make it. Most people can't even rent anything. And you go to your boss's office and he's still gonna tell you, you're making too much money. If you keep believing that, you're gonna just struggle and struggle and struggle, where the rest of us are going, I don't think taking half of your wealth is enough to help your employees. Maybe we should take 3/4 of your wealth, board, to make sure that your employees are compensated for everything they gave you.
Well said. I'll never understand how someone who can literally afford to put only ramen noodles on their table
Rich.
can have the stance that the billionaire who has more money than most people's entire towns for generations could ever combine
Is telling you, you're
telling
making
you
too much.
You're making too much money. You're at $15 or $20 an hour. You're making too much money.
That's a lot.
That's and if I paid every single one of you people, $40-$50 an hour,
That wouldn't
or
mean
living
anything
wage,
to all the money I have. It wouldn't mean jack. It wouldn't take anything away from me.
$1 billion less than my $250 billion that I'm making every year or worth or whatever. I mean, think about that. Just think about how illogical. Just flush your common sense down the drain. I mean, seriously.
Don't the words come into listen to this, people. There's only a few words you need to know. Consider the source.
Right.
This person is never struggled and never will struggle. He's telling you that you need to struggle more. That's all you need to know. I mean, consider the source. The billionaire that drives off in the Bentley and all this stuff and going, I just think you're making too much money.
Yeah.
And I dare somebody to tell me I'm making too much money when I have a family to feed. I have a family,
Yeah.
just like everybody else does. I have a family, I have a roof, I have food, I have to cook, clean, all this stuff. And he's telling me, or they're telling us,
Yep.
that, oh, geez, you're paying your house note. You're getting too much money. You could say that to the wrong person, and there could be like a big fit.
You know what I'm waiting for is that when somebody watches this, then to turn around
and say
and tell me that, or us, that
we're making too much money.
No. Oh, you people are un-American.
How are we un-American by wanting to eat and feed our family?
How did capitalism become
more important than human life?
American? I always thought that freedom of speech, freedom to pursue the right of happiness. I always thought those are the things that make us patriotic and American, not you're capitalist. You're a capitalist. Yeah. So says, again, like Sandra just said, consider the source.
Yeah. This subject, we could round robin it all night long.
It blows me away.
But the one thing is understanding. Look at the people that are telling you you have more than you need. And then don't listen to them. I'm just telling you, don't listen to them. If you're struggling and the person that's telling you that you have enough has way more than you do, it's that simple. He's got this much, you get this much. I mean, you need to fight for your wages, people. I mean, you made these people rich because you didn't fight for your wages, because you didn't know. No, now you know. We're telling you that you're not paid enough. That's my gig, is consumer protection. I know that sounds crazy, but I can't even tell you enough. Consumer products, your rights to your job, your rights to health care, all of those things. We pay into the system. All of us do. This is our collective money, and they're not contributing. Our roads are a wreck from their trucks just running up and down and not paying not a dime of taxes to repair them. But you know what? You make too much money, right? As the billionaire drives off. I'm not going to keep driving this home because I want you to go to our message boards and I want you to give us the hard questions, right? Do you think you're overpaid? Do you think you have more food than you need? Do you think that your kids have or your family has more clothes than they can have? Do you think your car is like top notch with blinkers? Sorry. Okay, I went too far.
I have an exercise. Go to work, school, daycare, wherever it is you go, and go in there and go to one of your coworkers or friends or acquaintances and look them dead in the eye and ask them this question. Hey, do you make enough? Or rather, do you make too much? I just want to know because all the billionaires that are running around are telling me and all these people around us that they make too much. Hey, you make too much.
Well, you have to be careful who you ask. A lot of people are humble or embarrassed.
Well, use a modicum of discretion, but
a lot of people don't want you to know that they're struggling either because everybody wants to feel like, they can keep up. But there are people like me out there that go, no, I don't have enough. I have a dog, a cat, a handicapped kid, and all kinds of other stuff that needs to be paid for, right? And I could always use more, just like everyone else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I never wake up in the morning and go,
and say, I've got way more than I need.
I have way more than I need.
Okay.
But what am I going to do with my day? Because I just got way more than I need.
Roll in the money, baby. Roll in the money. No.
Yeah. I think we made our point for this show.
I think we did. And like we always say, go to our message boards and talk to us. We want to hear your voice. We want to hear what you think. We know you're underpaid. We know you need more money. And we're here to try to, answer some of those questions and find out the answers together if we don't know them.
Thepublicservice.org.
Right.
Visit us there.
Yeah. And good night. Use a blinker.
Ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, 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 ding.
You have been watching a public service show. America is part of a global community. Sandra and I are well aware that the American experience had the hope for freedom. America isn't perfect by any means, and we are currently having our freedoms tested. Here at the Public Service Show, we're going to look at how and why we're at this point in America.